Welcome to Brand Lover, honest, real, and lively conversations for flourishing entrepreneurs and budding business owners on a mission to cultivate a heartfelt brand that connects with their purpose-driven mission. My hope is that you walk away feeling inspired and refreshed with a weekly takeaway in your back pocket that you can apply to your life or business. Welcome to my beautiful friend and client, Aparna from Global Mindful Journey, based all the way in Singapore. Her bio is just so impressive, and I know that you're going to fall off your chair once she starts speaking. So I'm going to let her take the reins and introduce herself. But first of all, I just want to say welcome. Thank you so much. I know that it's taken a fair bit for us to connect. We've tried to record this podcast many times, and I'm just so happy that we're finally here. So thank you so much, Aparna.
Oh, thanks so much, Rachel. It's such an honor, such a blessing. And I'm truly grateful to be here and share my journey with you and your audience. So happy to be here. Thank you for that warm welcome.
Thank you. So could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your beautiful brand?
Yes. So hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Aparna. I was actually medically trained over a decade ago. And 8 years into the healthcare industry, I realized after having children that I wanted to find my soulful purpose in life. And parenting actually changed my goals, my vision for myself, and what I wanted to do to serve others and help others. And I decided to find my ikigai, which is a beautiful Japanese concept of finding what you love and how it can best serve others, and how you can be happy every day, not wanting to work, but it just becomes a part of you, as well as helps you sustain and brings a little money in to help you maintain your, different lifestyle choices. So go read that up, everyone who's heard about Ikigai. There are some beautiful books out there. And I realized that I have found my Ikigai, which is, helping women, primarily families who want to simplify their homes. They want to remove all of the overwhelming clutter that they surround themselves with, to find connection with their loved ones, their children, and to find their purpose in life as well, because clutter is something that they hide behind. It's this big wall that they put in front of them that stands in the way of themselves and their big purpose. So I help them remove that in a very soulful, intuitive way. And I don't prescribe what to buy or what bins to put their stuff in. I facilitate and channel their inner wisdom to help them realize what their enough is, to find their sweet spot with their belongings, so that they can use their home as anchors, as their sanctuary, to catapult them into something that they're meant to do in their lives.
That's so beautiful. I could just listen to you forever. So I'm really interested to find out, because it's such a different industry that you're in now. To start off in a medical pathway, to do what you're doing now, you correct me if I'm wrong, but homeschool.
I do a bit of after homeschooling, so not really. They go to traditional schools here in Singapore, my kids. I used to do a lot of after school activities with them, but now it's more about I let them just take the lead into what they want to do. So it's not, I used to do a lot of cultural studies at home. I don't do that anymore. So the kids are, that's something that we can discuss too, that, when you create a space for your kids that they feel the freedom to explore, and they find predictability and consistency where they can find their things without having to ask the parents at home, because we tend to know where things are and we're always question, where's that mommy or where's that daddy? And so when the kids know where things are, they feel safe and they feel like they're in control of their environment, and creativity flows, focus grows, because they know that they have a simple environment, they have things that are not complicated. So it really helps for children to have that space where they have complete control over, and they work in collaboration with you to create that space in the first place. So yeah, I think with my background as a certified home organizing consultant, if you've not heard of Marie Kondo, go and look up her shows on Netflix and read her books. She's this amazing, inspiring Japanese woman who revolutionized what tidying is all about. It's not just decluttering and organizing your things, but it's this mindful, introspective, self-reflective journey on how you surround yourself with things of purpose. And it's a journey of gratitude and letting go of those things or ideas or people that don't serve you anymore with a lot of grace. So I think it's not the superficial organizing that you see a lot in there are a lot of shows on Netflix too that gives you this aesthetic look to what organizing is. To me, it isn't about that. It is, you can put your things in non-matchy bins. You can put your things in repurposed containers. You can have a home that's you, that's raw, that's imperfectly you. To me, that's another Japanese concept, which is called wabi-sabi, which is imperfectly perfect. And that works for you. Yeah. So yeah, I just love what I do, and I chose this method to help my clients with because it isn't traditionally done. It is done keeping the client and the client's needs and their homes in mind, and it isn't, again, I know I was medically trained and I'm a doctor, but I never prescribe what's the right way to do it. There is no right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's the way that the clients want their homes to be. And I think that is very sustainable. That's something that you can maintain. And it's because you've been part of the journey from the very beginning. So I'm not an organizer who'll come and just do it for you. I do it with you. It's a journey that we take together, and we co-create a home that makes sense for the client. So again, that's easy to maintain. It's easy to enjoy and love every single day.
Yeah.
So,
And I love the idea of releasing thoughts and people
yeah,
as a part of the process.
absolutely.
Or there are a lot of us who can sort of relate to that. And it's like yeah, and I'm interested to find out how that relates to physical items, like and how I would love to sort of hear how that process works together.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I love that organizing is actually the stepping stone towards understanding what you want in your life. So when you think about the home, it's a concrete space. It's a very tangible space. It's things that you can see and feel and smell, and you've all your senses that are heightened when you look around in your home. So it's simpler to start with anything in your life. If you start with something that's concrete, things that you can sense with all your senses, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's easier once you're done with that to deal with all the intangible parts of your life. So if you go to somebody and say, you need to become more spiritual, you need to meditate, you need to let go of all these big emotions and all the past trauma that you've or heal all the wounds from your past, it's very difficult to do that if you have a cluttered space, if you have too many things on your schedule, or if you have that visible clutter that's getting in your way. So even with children, it's so much easier to teach them the concrete first before you can teach them the abstract. And that's a very Montessori concept. I'm a Montessori educator as well. So I really resonated with that concept, that you use the tangible environment to clear what you can see and sense with all your senses. And once that is done, you have the mental capacity to deal with all the intangibles of your life. You can think about, what am I interested in? What are my hobbies? How do I show up at work and my business? How do I parent better? How do I show up as my highest self? How do I accept and acknowledge everything that is a part of me, all the goods and bads and all the limitations, all the wonderful gifts I have to give to others and to myself? It's so hard to do that if you have all that physical clutter in your way. So to me, it's a journey that you start from outside and then from within. It's really difficult to look inward if the outward experience around you is cluttered and it's weighing you down. So, I call it beautification from within. So you can have an interior designer or a stylist to make you look pretty, to make your home look nice, but then you still feel that sense of heaviness. If you open your closets, you open all the drawers and you feel, oh my goodness, this thing shouldn't have been bought. Oh, I spent so much money on this, and I keep buying my children things and they're still asking for more. So, it's so difficult to not feel those things if you have I mean, it's so difficult to deal with the intangible parts of your life and cleanse that and to simplify that if you haven't dealt with what's vying for your attention on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, it's an outward, inward journey. And it starts from your home. It starts from the tangible stuff.
Yes. Oh, yes. I mean, it makes so much sense the way that you say it.
Yeah.
It just makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know how you came across like this whole philosophy. I mean, you said you started with the Japanese
The
thing.
KonMari tidying method. Yes.
Yes, and the finding your purpose and that sort of thing. What
Yeah.
made you set out on that journey? What, like, was there some kind of incongruence in your own life that sort of was a catalyst to help you, to motivate you to seek?
Yeah, it was a couple of things actually. So my husband's quite he's an intentionalist. I really prefer using that term rather than minimalist, because
Yeah.
I think minimalist makes you feel like you're coming from lack, you have a scarcity mindset. Whereas if you think you're an intentionalist, you're very purposeful with what you surround yourself with, what you do with your life, what you do with your time, how you manage belongings in your home. You're very intentional, and it comes from a deeper place of authenticity. So when it comes to the relationship that we have, I was amazed at how he could have, I'm literally looking at his closet now. He has 5 or 6 shirts. He has like 3 pairs of pants. And I'm like,
Mm.
how does anyone still, be so happy? And he's so
Yeah.
content. I think that's the word I love again. Happiness is again something that's so subjective, but contentment comes from such a deeper place. It's not
Mm.
superficial, but it's understanding what your enough is and still showing up in that raw, beautiful self that you are to the world. And so I was super inspired. And to me, I was actually a shopaholic back in the day. I could never exit a mall or a store without 2 bags in my hands. I could never come back from a trip without like 3 suitcases of things. Or if I had my family visiting me from India, I would have a long list of things that I need from them. I'm not saying I don't do any of that now, but it's so much more intentional. I stick to a list.
Mm.
I really ask myself whether it's a need or a want. So I think, coming to your question, it started with my husband inspiring me to understand what this is about. And he never forced me to, go alongside his journey and say, this is the way it should be done.
Yeah.
Um, Although he did say that I don't think we should be doing big birthday parties and having the
Mm.
party favors and all the gifts that come, and you don't know what to do with them. And I was inspired by that because I realized that yes, it's me who has to deal with all of the aftermath of birthday parties. So
Mm.
I think the seeds were planted by him, but I think parenting actually changed my outlook, because as parents we're inundated with all these marketing strategies that makes us have these wants that are not truly necessary. You're told that you need these things, and to me I was like, hang on, wait a minute, why do I need, and these are all personal experiences, why do I need a separate blender to mash up my child's food when they were babies? Like, why
Yes.
can't I just use my regular blender? Or why do I need 3 different strollers when I can use one that's multi-purpose? So these kind of questions came to me after my second child was born, and I realized that actually it's me, I'm getting in my way. And if I know what my values are, I can be unapologetic about it while still respecting other people's opinions. I can accept that there are all these multiple things going on around me, and still be very, very sure of what I want for myself and for my family. So parenting changed that. And of course, as I was working I was working in the healthcare industry before, something changed, something shifted in me. And it's hard to explain this.
Mm.
We've so many of us, I realized that we start with a degree or a course that we do, and we realize that maybe it's not something that I'm going to pursue, but it helped me realize what I want to do now. And we can, break our life up in phases and say that at this phase in my life, what things need to support me? What purpose do I need to serve, and what do I need to align with? It's very much like my clients. I share with them that just because you loved polka dots when you were a teenager or when you were in your early 20s doesn't mean you need to like that now. Where we love to look at our kids and say, oh, they outgrew that. We can outgrow that as women and moms and dads too. And that's completely okay. But letting go with gratitude and saying, you served me well. I needed you in my past life. And
Yeah.
I thank you for serving me. You know, if you thank your belongings or thank all your past experiences, we come from a place of gratitude instead of resentment. And to me, that's just such a beautiful gift from everything, because all our past experiences have made us who we are today, and it's going to take us into the future with everything. So instead of having regrets and resentment, to me, everything in life is a blessing or a learning lesson. It's
Yeah.
huge if you think about it like that. And so many people approach me and say, but Aparna, you studied for 6 years to be a doctor. I mean, how can you give that up and not be in a hospital? And I tell myself, you know what? Being a doctor helped me meet my husband, who we're both in medical fields.
Yeah.
Being a doctor helped me find my first job in Singapore. I'm so grateful for that. So many experiences in the past helped shape me into who I am today. And I have absolutely no regrets. I'm super grateful for everything that has gone, and sometimes you can also say the past experiences have also taught me what not to be. Sometimes we really put this pressure on us and say, oh, I need to learn to be something else. But what can you learn what to not take that into your current and future life? What can you not be? And that's something that you can be grateful about as well. And that's something I teach my children. I embody that you don't ever have to feel bad to make mistakes. Everything that we learn and what big emotions we have, if you don't want to do something, it's completely fine. What can we learn from this? To me, having that abundant mindset, that growth mindset, is very, very precious and sacred. And so, yeah, a lot of different time points in my life helped shape me into who I am today, how I serve my clients. And I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I have so many different things I want to learn every single day. I'm doing my master's now in child psychology. There's just so much I want to do with my life.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to take this journey as a KonMari consultant into something more. I just don't want to be helping my clients tidy up their homes. I think there's something much deeper with that journey that I want to take with them. It's always something I take with them because I learn from my clients too. There's so much I learn from them. And it's truly special. It's truly special, all my past experiences. Yeah.
Yes, I love the way that you articulate all of that, because like I have the same philosophy as well. We go through different seasons, and it's what we can, what we learn from our experiences and mistakes, and like we're human, we fail. But I also love to sort of see past epic failings as hopefully something that my children will also be able to learn from. And so they'll, like, it's generational, and it's actually sort of, I look back at some of my, my interesting phases of life. And I feel like it's so interesting you say, like, I feel like a totally different person. I can't even relate to that, that young person anymore. And it's a gift to be able to give that, to impart that wisdom and those learnings on, through the generations as well. But something that I've always admired about you, Aparna, is just if you want to do something, or if you are, if you are intending to do something, you are 100% committed, and you go for it. And in my experience, that was with your brand when you were first starting out. We worked together quite closely in a few different ways. And you just jumped right in, like you invested. And it's not just in the brand, it's like in the qualifications that you were doing. You didn't do it half-hearted. You didn't just dip your toe in and, like try to test out the waters. You were like, this is happening and I'm doing this. That must have been really scary. Like, you make it look really easy. But how has that paid off for you now?
Well, it's made leaps and bounds in my journey as an entrepreneur. I think what you did with my brand, I believe completely that, we all talk about this idea of knowing, liking, and trusting a brand.
Mm.
And the knowledge of who I am and what I do came across so strongly with what you did with my brand. And even now, I'm sure everyone identifies with the colors and
Mm.
the beautiful images that you created for me. And it's that knowing and liking that started off wanting to get to know me better, which is the trusting. So
Mm.
I think it's really hard to trust someone if you don't give them an opportunity to have a good first or second or third impression, right?
Yeah.
So when they repeatedly come to my website, I've had so many compliments on my website design.
Oh.
It's just so beautifully created and thought. It's been so thoughtfully designed. So the knowing and liking factors have ticked the boxes because of your branding.
Mm.
And I believe that that's what they first get curious about when anyone wants to get to know you. They
Yeah.
first check you out, right? They want to see,
Yeah.
can I even trust this person? They don't immediately start saying, wow, I love what she says, but they have to come with curiosity and enjoy what they're seeing before they can trust you. And I think the enjoying what they're seeing bit is something that you immediately helped me with. And I needed help with that because I don't know colors. I don't know the way that you understand the psychology behind uh,
Mm.
you know branding. I just didn't know any of that. And to me, I strongly believe that there is no harm in asking for help if you are not, you cannot be an expert at everything.
Mm.
And there is no harm in asking for help that you need that extra support with. And this is an investment that keeps giving back. It's not just something that you do one time. And it's
Yeah.
something that I help my clients with too. I switch on these buttons in their minds about how they purchase and how they bring in items into their home or how they let go of things. And all of these are habits that don't get cultivated with a one-time investment.
Mm.
Although it feels like a one-time investment, it's something that keeps coming back to you because these are lessons you never forget.
Yeah.
So with your branding as well, with what you did with me, it's something that's constantly coming back with so many different collaterals that I create. So whether it's my presentations, whether it's understanding the voice I need to use with my clients and
Mm.
understanding them on a deeper level, because at the end of the day, they can come onto my Instagram or my website, but it's how they feel when they
Mm.
interact with me. And it's, again, not just the aesthetics that you help me with, right? It's about how do you connect with your clients on a deeper level. And that to
Mhm.
me is, again, so much more introspective and so much more meaningful than just doing oh, let's just change the colors of your Instagram post. It's not
Yeah.
just that. You make it beautiful from within. And
Yeah.
it's, again, so much aligned with what I do. So
Yeah.
that is why I think I resonated with what you do. And you are such a beautiful human being behind your brand. So again, I resonated with that. And you don't just buy the service, you buy the person behind the brand. I know
Yeah.
it's really cheesy, but you don't just buy the service that or the product that the
Mm.
brand is selling. You're
Mm.
understanding the person behind the brand, and you helped me achieve that. So I'm always grateful.
Thank you. I'm forever grateful
Yeah.
too. I just, it's such a blessing, and I feel like I've found my purpose in life through this, iteration of my business. It's gone through many different seasons itself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for all of the other women who I've been able to connect with, because even that's a blessing to me. Like, that's something, and I don't know if you found that in your work too, that when I set out to, when I rebranded and was really niched down and got really clear on who I wanted to work with, I didn't really ever expect to connect so deeply with people and walk away with just a whole bunch of amazing new friends. Like, it's just
Yeah,
such a blessing.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just, yeah, and you're right. Like, I really resonated with what you said earlier about, waking up each day just so filled with purpose that you don't even feel like you're working.
Yeah, Absolutely. It's amazing, because what you said just now, you're connecting with these amazing women, and you consider them as friends. They're not strangers anymore, because you work so intimately with their brands and their businesses. And the same thing happens with my clients as well. I'm in their vulnerable space. I'm in their homes, touching and
Yeah.
asking questions about all of their belongings and their personal lives. And to be honest, I tell all my clients they're welcome to come into my home anytime for a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
because it has to be reciprocative.
Yeah.
You cannot just keep taking from your clients, but you give so much more. And it's not directly proportional, if you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
exponential. It's
100%.
something that you cannot quantify. And when you come from that place of serving and wanting to connect with them, not just making it transactional, you instantly connect with your clients as friends, as loved ones.
Yes.
And you attract that the same kind of clients too, because
Yeah.
you come from that place of humility and gratitude. And that has really helped me center. I mean, I didn't start off with these lessons. Obviously, I first thought that I'll help women organize their homes. But as I've moved along, as in this journey as a KonMari consultant, as a parent educator, I've learned so much. I come from a place of, I don't know all the answers, but I will learn from you as well.
Yeah.
And nobody's an expert at anything. Nobody. To be honest, we are the experts of our own feelings. That's about all we have control over. We don't really know. We are not experts at parenting. We don't know our kids very well. But all we can do is just be their guides. We can be guides to our clients. We can be facilitators. And we can be knowledgeable. I think that's about all we
Yeah.
can have. We can have knowledge, because there's just so much out there to learn and to understand about yourself and how you can grow as a
Yeah.
person and as a business owner. So it has been truly humbling, this whole journey as an entrepreneur, for sure.
Yes, I feel it. I feel everything that you're saying. And I feel the same way in that, with brands, it's not like it's a collaboration. It's not, people don't or shouldn't come to myself or to you expecting us to just wave a magic wand and fix everything.
Yes,
It's a
absolutely.
collaboration, it's an extraction, it's a getting to know one another, and it's making decisions together. And I just think that you're absolutely right. It's so humbling. And to hold on to that humility throughout the journey. I feel like it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper as the more you progress.
Yeah, I just at this point, when you said humbling and gratitude, sorry, Rachel, just wanted to share this beautiful quote I read by Gabby Bernstein. I'm sure you've heard of her.
Yeah.
Beautiful, spiritual manifestation coach. And she mentioned the more we appreciate what we have, the more we get what we want. And that's so deep, because all you need to do is appreciate what you have. That's it, because nothing else is under your control. You don't know when your next client is coming. You don't know when your next project is coming. But when you're working and in the now, when you're in the now, in the present moment, when you're consciously aware of what's going on in your present life, in your current projects and clients. In fact, every time I go into somebody's home, I just thank the universe. Or if you believe in God, you just thank that higher power that I love what I do, and thank you for sending me this beautiful opportunity where I get to serve someone and feel good about it. It's just so gratifying just to feel that way. And then you leave the rest to whoever wants to send clients to you, because you have no control over that. You can do everything you can in your capacity for the now, and just come from that place of gratitude and appreciation.
Yes, it's so true. There's so many times through even just life, I'm pinging here, like so many different situations where I've had that same, like I've wanted something so badly, and it's just not, it doesn't come, like it's like there's a big barrier, and then as soon as you release, you surrender, basically, and you consciously make that decision to go, okay, well, if I can't have that, I'm going to be super happy with what I've got. I'm going to look after it. I'm going to be thankful for it. And then next thing you know, the better thing falls into your lap. Like it's just, yeah, it's
absolutely.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I would love to sort of explore a little bit about just your area of expertise, just from a practical perspective, because I know in myself, like I've got some things that I like to have tight, like my kitchen bench, for example. If it's a mess, I'm a mess. Like I'm just not even myself. I can't function. And I have got these little isms where I've really got to make sure that before I start working, I have got, if there's washing to do, like I have to hang up the washing. I can't just leave it. I have to have a clean bench. I like to tidy my workspace, even if I've got things out because I'm referring to things, they have to be neatly lined up. It makes me feel good. And I've had coaches sort of encourage me or, encourage people to be okay, but you're at work, so you've got to ignore that stuff. Just imagine that you were going off to work in an office, and then you can actually, I just can't do that. And I'm wondering if there's some kind of, psychological reason for that.
Yeah. So the stuff around us is two things. One is the clutter and one is a mess. And I love to, at my first session with my clients, that's the first thing I kind of bust the myth off, which is, oh, I'm so messy. They have all of these ideas about themselves. The first thing I like to clear is telling my clients there's a big difference between clutter and a mess. And a mess simply means that the stuff that you love and use every day is out of their original homes. But clutter is, all that stuff that is not necessary in your life, you're holding on to for various reasons. You're not wanting to hold on to them, but you are because of sentimentality or a lot of emotional reasons. But all of that clutter is stuff that comes in the way of reaching the bigger goals in your life. And what we are dealing with together is clutter and not mess. Mess will find homes at the end of the day, yes. And that's wonderful to have because it shows that you have life, you have a business going on. You're cooking in the kitchen. You can't be cooking in a sterile environment where just one pot is out and one spoon is out, right? You have to have your ingredients out. You have to have your spices out. And that's just a mess because, at the end of the day, there's this feeling of, I know where it will go.
Yeah.
When I'm done with this activity. But when you see clutter, it's an outward manifestation of inner turmoil. So if there's stuff going on in your mind, with decision making. So again, all the intangibles, emotional attachments, it is, childhood, the trauma that you've gone through, or the memories that you want to attach yourself to. It's so many intangibles going on inside of your mind and really holding you back from letting go of those things. So the clutter that you see outside of you is all of the stuff that's going on within you. So why it's so important to ask the questions, to reflect on what's going on inside you, is because you can really understand, if this is going on inside me and this is what I want to do with my life, what can I keep that will align with what I want to feel inside. So I never tell my clients, let's just keep that because you want to keep it. I ask questions like, how do you want to feel when you hold this item, and how are you planning to use it in a way that aligns with your bigger goals? And we go through a goal setting session in the first time we meet, and I ask them what they want to do with their life. Then I go to their home, and then they go to each space. So it's like break it down into tiers like that. But once we understand that the inner turmoil is soothed, it's broken up into problem solving situations, only then we can understand how we can address the clutter outside. So the clutter outside obviously is just a wall that we're hiding behind. I've had clients where they're going through really terrible relationship issues with their partners, or they're having issues with their employees with all that clutter. I mean, it's not that because of the clutter they're having issues. It's the clutter is just there because all those issues are getting in the way of them dealing with that, because it's an excuse. It's like saying, I'll buy all this stuff because I feel better when I have a fight with my partner, and I need to buy this because that dopamine hit makes me feel so good, and I don't need to deal with that fight that we had. So all of that stuff that's there is just a manifestation of the psychological turmoil that my clients go through. And it could be also that they're buying their children so many things because they came from a place of so-called lack, because their parents couldn't provide all of those things to them as kids. So when you break it down to understanding the why, you get to understand, how can I support this this person to get them to break their inner challenges out, so that they understand themselves better, and come from a place of forgiveness and acknowledging that it's okay that I went through those experiences. It's okay to forgive myself, but how do I move on from there in a place of gratitude and forgiveness and appreciation for what I'm worthy of. So there are ways to deal with the clutter, and once that's done, it just feels wonderful to be productive again. So for you, you said that I can't function if my kitchen isn't reset or it hasn't been tidied up at the end of the day. But maybe during the day, it's okay to have all the messes out, because that's something that my clients also struggle with. They're like, whenever I see a mess, I really can't take it. I have to tell my kids to put their things away, and I have to nag at my husband for not closing the toothpaste tube. These are things that are, it may not be a priority to your children or your partner. But if it is to you, and if it's a shared space, you can discuss it with your kids or your family, and there are ways to deal with this. But when it comes to your personal space, deal with it as if it's sacred, if it's your space that you're proud of, and you want it to look and feel a certain way. Hone in on how you want to feel, what kind of activities you're going to do there, because the stuff is just there to help us. They're there to serve us. They don't have any ownership on us. We own those things. Sometimes we forget, and we flip the roles of our belongings. We're like, oh, I can't give that up, and we're giving the things so much power. But it's us. We've brought this thing into our lives, and we have the power to decide how we want to get those items to serve us. So if you can think of your personal space as your sacred space, your sanctuary, you can keep it the way you want to and be unapologetic about it. It really affects your productivity. It affects the way you focus and how you can motivate yourself to finish one project and move on to the next. It's impossible to think clearly in a busy workspace, unless of course there's creativity there. So creative individuals, you can have, for example, all your paint samples out. You can have little fabric samples out, and have a creative chaos there. But that helps you think, and that's a very intentional mess. And to me, that's beautiful too. And we shouldn't be belittling ourselves and say, oh, but Aparna told me that we shouldn't be having a messy desk. Don't have a cluttered desk. A messy desk is perfectly fine. Embrace that. Just know the difference and distinction between a mess and a clutter. You don't want to be having ticket stubs from like 3 years ago sitting on your desk. You don't want to be having candy wrappers there and trash that has no purpose to sit there. Have things there that are intentional and purposeful, and help you bring your best self to that activity and to your life. I think that's the key message that I wanted to share when it comes to your home and your spaces.
Yeah, and I love that, and I love that
distinction. Yeah,
distinction. Thank you. Between clutter and mess. I had never even thought about it like that before. So I'm just, having these big aha moments just chatting with you. So thank you so much. I had some other questions, but you've just shared them. You've already shared the answers to them. And so I'm so grateful to share this time with you, and, for you to just share your wisdom so freely and generously.
It's my pleasure.
Aparna. I have some fun questions to finish up. Some rapid fire questions.
So
I'm going to say, I'll just ask you what your favorite is, and I'll say the word, and it's just the first thing to come to mind.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
Okay. What's your favorite app?
App? Like a phone app?
Yeah.
It has to be WhatsApp, surprisingly.
Oh,
It helps me connect with my family. I don't have any family here in Singapore.
yeah.
And it helps me connect with my loved ones back home in India, in Sweden, in the
Mm,
US, in Australia even. So I have family all over, in the
mm,
UK as well, now in Canada. So although it can be quite cluttery, I try to mute all the conversations that I don't want to be a part of, or
yeah,
I don't need to be in the know every single minute of my day.
yeah,
But I do believe that there are apps that helps me connect with the people I love. So uh, I find the good in things
yeah.
that can be quite cluttery and noisy.
Mm.
So yeah, that and my photo album, I think
Yeah,
that's so special to me as well.
I
So
love
can I choose
that.
two apps?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Of course. You can do
Yes.
whatever you like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, time of day.
I'm my best in the morning.
Hmm.
So I can wake up at 5 a.m. and be super productive. I just love waking up slightly earlier than my kids some days, where I can take my dog for a walk, and
Yeah,
just have that time to myself to just be,
yeah,
and not think too much of anything. So
yes.
favorite time of the day would definitely be mornings. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so exercise.
Unfortunately, I can't run anymore, although I used to love running with
Oh.
my hubby. I have a bad hip. So I would say that any core, any sort of core exercise, so Pilates or
Mhm.
just simple yoga, where I'm on my mat and I'm stretching or doing some strengthening exercises. I love that. Just a simple 20-minute
Mhm.
exercise in the mornings. It's just something that I love doing. So yeah, any kind of mat exercise. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Habit.
Habit would be, this is really sweet what I do in the mornings, and this is something I've cultivated over the past years. When I wake up, I say three things that I'm really grateful for. It could be anything, it could be a thing, it could be a person, it could be an experience, or something that I'm looking forward to in the day. So
Mhm.
when I wake up, I just close my eyes, say these two or three things, and then I give my little doggy a cuddle, and because he's right there at my feet, and I
Oh,
just
bless.
uh,
That's
just love.
beautiful.
I love doing that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's such a lovely way to start the day.
yeah.
Okay, favorite way to relax.
Funnily, I love reading books. So even when I'm relaxing, and this is something that I get a lot of shade from my husband, I don't know how to traditionally relax. Like even
Yeah.
when I'm getting a massage or getting my nails painted or something, which is very rare,
Yeah.
I I'm like overthinking things and stuff. So when I'm reading, I'm actually being very mindful, because I can't be thinking of many different things when I'm reading a book. I have to be very conscious about the words that are trying to speak to me in the book. So reading actually is a very mindful activity for me. I'm very much in the moment when I'm reading,
Mm.
and that to me, mindfulness is something that helps me relax. And so, yeah, when I'm reading, I'm just reading. I can't do anything else. And so it's, and my second favorite, of course, is just being with my puppy, because I can't take my phone with me anywhere.
Mm.
Um, my puppy and my kids, of course, they are one unit now. So
I bet
I
they are.
can't, I can't be with my phone. I can't be with anything else. So
Mm.
reading, being with my kids, such a beautiful way to just relax and unwind,
Yeah.
and not have to think of anything else. And that encourages me to be more mindful. Um, Everything else I've tried to do, my mind is always on overdrive. So these two, I think, activities really encourage me to be in the moment and enjoy whatever experiences I'm gathering from it. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love
Yeah.
reading as well.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Your favorite thing about your business?
That I get to serve others in a way that I never thought possible before. And um, it just makes me feel that I'm leaving a legacy of helping others in a way that they feel wonderful about themselves. You
Mm,
know, I just feel like it's not work. That's something I shared at the beginning of this
mm,
interview. And that's the beauty of my business, that I feel like it's just not work.
mm.
It's an extended holiday or a relaxation,
Yeah.
because it's an extension of who I am.
Yeah.
It's an extension of my embodied presence at home. It's everything that I am doing at home, outside of home. So it's just like home again.
Yeah.
It's so funny that I'm saying that. This is the first time I'm thinking about that as well. Yeah.
Just a natural part of who you are now. Yeah. How nice.
Absolutely.
What a gift. I love it. Okay, so I am sure that some listeners are going to want to come and find you to learn more about what you do and just even get to know you because you're such a beautiful soul.
So are you.
Oh, thank
So are
you.
you. Oh, you're so beautiful. Beautiful from within and out. So
Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, where can we find you?
Yeah, so my website is globalmindfuljourney.com. I have the same Instagram handle, so I'm there on and off. I'm trying to be very intentional with my time on Instagram because it can be so difficult to stay there. And, I've put a timer on my Instagram, have a limit to be there on just for 30 minutes a day. Try to get everything done within that time frame. So yeah, I'm at Global Mindful Journey on Instagram as well. And I have a Facebook community. It's called Mindful Organized Families. And it's just a wonderful way to connect with me as well. My Facebook page is Global Mindful Journey as well. So I pretty much have that same handle everywhere. So
excellent.
My email address is aparna@globalmindfuljourney.com. I have a lot of readers who reach out to me via email. My DM is always open for collaborations or client inquiries, or if you just want to come and say hi, I'm always here to say hi.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much again for sharing this time with me. I'm so grateful, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for you.
Oh, thank you, Rach. Thank you. And you will be a big part of wherever I go.
Oh, thank you. It's so sweet.
Oh, thanks so much, Rach, for this time together.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this week's episode of Brand Lover, take a screenshot of wherever you're listening and share your biggest takeaway on Instagram or Facebook. And don't forget to tag me. I'd love to give you a shout out and thank you personally. Also, feel free to subscribe and leave a review to help the Brand Lover podcast reach more heart-aligned entrepreneurs just like yourself. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.